The NBA draft is Thursday night. Hi, I'm Dave Morris, joined by the Oklahoman's Darnell Mayberry. Oklahoma City basketball fans will be paying attention to the Sonics draft choices, as that franchise is destined for the Ford Center sooner or later. Darnell, first question. What are the chances the Sonics land former Kansas State star Michael Beasley Thursday night?
2 weeks ago, I would have said no shot. The Sonics had no shot at Michael Beasley. All of a sudden, Pat Riley, the president down in Miami, is suddenly not interested in Michael Beasley. Just a few months back, Michael Beasley was the #1 overall pick. He was the consensus #1 pick. And now he's got questions about his maturity, his character issues, whether or not he's ready to become an NBA player. So Pat Riley...
And reports are saying Riley didn't like Beasley's attitude, right?
It's his attitude that I think that Pat Riley questions most. He sort of likes O.J. Mayo a lot better than Michael Beasley. And if that's the case, then the Sonics have a very good chance of getting Michael Beasley. It all depends.
How does that scenario work? Miami's got, what, the #2 pick?
Miami's got #2. The Sonics have #4. It all depends on what Minnesota does with that #3 pick. If they go for Stanford's center, Brook Lopez, then Seattle can take O.J. Mayo, and then we can see a trade happen.
All right, second question. Who's the best fit for the Sonics if they do keep the #4 pick?
I think you have to look at a guy named Jared Bayless out of Arizona. He's a combo guard. He's more of a scorer than a true point guard, meaning he's not going to look to set up his teammates as much as he is looking for his own offense and scoring the basketball himself. He's a good fit because Kevin Durant needs another scorer alongside him.
Take the heat off of him.
Take some heat off of him. Take some heat off of Jeff Green. Jared Bayless can be that guy, and he's going to mature and develop his point guard skills and his setup ability.
You mentioned Minnesota. My third question for you is, can the Sonics afford to take a chance on the Stanford center, Brook Lopez, who would be their 4th center taken in the past 5 drafts?
Well, I talked to Sam Presti, the Sonics GM, just yesterday, and he told me, you have to evaluate these drafts differently. Each draft is different. And Sam Presti, to his credit, was not on the regime that took those 3 big men, Robert Swift, Johan Petro, and Mohamed Sene. They have career averages of 5.1 points and 4.0 rebounds in like 333 games. So it's not good for that trio of big men. Brook Lopez is an enticing prospect. He's a true 7-footer. He blocks shots, he rebounds, he can defend, and he can score. I mean, he can do it all on the court. There are questions about his athleticism and whether or not he can really is mobile enough to make it on the NBA level and what kind of upside he has. But I really think that he's a good prospect, and he could be a cornerstone for that front line in the Sonics for years to come.
Might not be that athletic, but 7 feet tall is 7 feet tall.
Right.
All right, the Sonics had the #4 pick. They also had the #24 pick. Who would be available at that point?
Well, you have to look at guys. I mean, you have sort of, proven college players at the 24th pick. Ryan Anderson out of Cal. He's a 6'10", 6'11", sort of small forward, power forward, Dirk Nowitzki type. That's a stretch. He's not Dirk Nowitzki, but he can shoot the ball. He averaged about 21 and 10, 21 and 11 at Cal this year. He's the leading scorer in the Pac-10, I believe. So you look at him, you look at Chris Douglas-Roberts, who's on that high-profile Memphis team, a shooting guard. The Sonics also need help at shooting guard, and Chris Douglas-Roberts might be available at 24. If they don't go with guys like that, they can go with upside, potential guys in J.J. Hickson, NC State's power forward, Robin Lopez, the twin brother of Brook, who's more of a defensive-oriented player, but he could come in and help the Sonics also.
So what do they do with their 4 second-round selections? It's not like the Sonics are just, hurting for
6
draft
of
picks.
them, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think. I'd be shocked if the Sonics kept all 4 second-round draft picks tomorrow night.
I think they would do some wheeling.
That's a lot. Last year they had, I think, the 30th and the 35th, 2 of the top 5. And they traded both of them away. One was Glenn Big Baby Davis, who ended up being a pretty big contributor with Boston, and then Carl Landry, who was a good contributor with Houston. So if they traded those 2, then I wouldn't be surprised if they traded for at least 3 of the 4 this year, because they're a lot lower, 46, 50, and 56. The highest is, I think, 32nd. So you might see them hang on to that or package that with another trade.
All right, let's just wrap this up. Best case scenario for the Sonics tomorrow night.
I think the best case is Michael Beasley. If you get your hands on Michael Beasley and pair him with Kevin Durant, that gives you 2 big-time scorers. And Kevin Durant can score inside and outside, and so can Beasley. I think they could play well off each other. They're good friends. They're great friends. They grew up together in that D.C. area, and they really like each other. I think that'd be your tandem for years to come.
Plus, from the owner's perspective, that probably fills some seats right there.
Oh, yeah.
2 pretty big names. Darnell Mayberry, thanks for your time. More coverage in tomorrow's Oklahoman and the Thursday Oklahoman. Also read Darnell's blog on newsok.com. Just look for the NBA and OKC blog.
Let's see it.